at the stadium. At the stadium in Melville, Craig Adam reporting.
The Bombers run into early penalty trouble. 2 players in the box when the Mills jump into the lead. Darren Maloney putting home a rebound at 3:24. Flin Flon wanting to play physical, but not like this. Jason Mattern face first into the boards after missing Ted Grayling. The Mills build a 2-0 lead on a goal by Travis Van Tegum, but the Bombers tighten things up late in the second. A backhander by Rob Beck gets through. Just the second goal in nearly 100 minutes for the Bombers in the final, and they head into period 3 down by just 1. Midway through the third, a big crowd out in front of Flin Flon goalie Danny Dennis. He'll make 2 or 3 saves, but persistence pays off for Chris Constant. Big goal as it gives the Mills a 2-goal cushion. But Constant will help the Bombers get back to within 1 again. Just over 3 minutes remaining when he gets stripped inside his own blue line. The puck goes right to Nolan Weir, who tees one up and beats Clint Hogue. 3-2, and that's the way it would stay. Melville holds on, completing a weekend sweep, taking a 2-0 lead up north for Game 3 on Tuesday.
You know, they've got a really strong team. They're pretty much as strong as us. They got just as much offense, and they have a good goaltender as well as good forwards, so we're pretty tight.
I just think they came at us hard. They were much more physical tonight than they were last night, and great goaltending on both ends.
You mentioned they're a little more physical tonight than they were in Game 1. Is that the sort of game you expect when you play the Bombers, sort of a grinded-out type of hockey game?
I think so, yeah. Last night, the first period, they were right on us, but they weren't really finishing their checks, and tonight they were right through, and that's why she's just a 3-2 game, but we'll take the 2 wins and head up there tomorrow and with a kind of a relaxed atmosphere up through the pine trees and be ready for Tuesday night.
Why do you go up there a day early?
Well, I think the 6.5 hours on the bus and then getting into the hotel rooms and everything, it kind of wears down on the guys, and I think it's just as well for us to get the kids away from their billets and their parents and their girlfriends here and get up there, and for the most part all year we felt more comfortable, you know, playing up on the road up there, and the pressure's on them right now. Their rink's going to be full, and the miners are going to be yelling and screaming, and we've got to go out there and have a first good 10 minutes, and we should be all right, I think.
You know, they play really good at home. They haven't lost in 15 games, so we just want to try and get a split or 2 if we can.
The Bombers, coming off 2 straight wins in Flin Flon, outplay the Millionaires in the first period. They outshoot Melville 11-5, but can't solve Clint Hogue. The Bombers not as dominant in the second, but they do get results. The period's only goal, 8th of the playoffs, by Jason Ahenecue. The Millionaires not wanting to go back to Flin Flon, down 3-2. They'll make sure they don't. Just 20 seconds gone in the third when Wade Welty ties it, his 4th playoff goal, and it would give the Mills the lift they needed. The third period, their best of the game. They score 3 unanswered. Jason Prokopets with the go-ahead goal, his 8th with just under 5 minutes remaining. And then just to make sure, it's Corey Moffat flipping one from center into the empty net. His 2nd playoff goal. The Mills have a tough go of it, but pull out a 3-1 victory. And now head back to Flin Flon with a 3-2 series lead.
Right off the start of the third, Wade Welty came out and notched the first one to get us going, and after that we just seemed to keep buzzing them, and their defensemen seemed to be standing back, and we're just trying to get it on net and go for the net like we can because they're big and strong, and just jam at the rebounds, and that's what I did, and luckily it trickled over the line. And
we knew that we had to start forechecking and start hitting, taking the body. We knew that, you know, that was our lives right there. We were fighting for our lives, and luckily we got that goal.
You know, I guess it wasn't a must-win game, but when you think about it, you sure didn't want to go back to Flin Flon down 3-2.
Yeah, up in the zoo there, we didn't really want to must-win there. It's pretty hard to win, so we knew that, like I said, we were fighting for our lives.
I thought, you know, the first 10 minutes, the first we played pretty well. Pilling walks in, hits a post, and I thought from that point right till the end of the second period, we were just back in a shell. And you got to give credit to Flin Flon. They did a super job of forechecking. That second period is the best we've been forechecked all year, as far as I'm concerned. And you know, with that combination and us maybe not moving our feet like we should have, really had us behind the 8 ball. But credit to the fellas in the room. We talked a little bit about character and a little bit about you know, things that we've done all year, and they you know, responded to the bell once again. And we just got one more game to go, and maybe we can do it Sunday.
Once again, Melville 3, Flin Flon 2. The Millionaires now just 1 win away from winning the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League Championship. For Teleform Sports, I'm Jay Boyd. biggest crowd in Melville Stadium history on hand for Game 7. Well over 3,300, including 7 or 8 busloads of Flin Flon folk. And they'll see some great goaltending early on. Here is Danny Dennis robbing speedy Wade Welty. And at the other end, Clint Hogue with a big save right off the face-off. The game's first goal comes 14 minutes in, and a noisy Melville Stadium gets even louder. Darren Maloney's shot goes off a Bomber stick, and in behind Dennis, 1-0 Mills, but it would be their only lead of the game. Second period now, Nolan Weir looking to tie it, but he gets stopped twice by Hogue. A few minutes later, and a chance for the Millionaires. Ted Grayling over the blue line sends a cross-ice pass to Chris Constant, who drops it back to Jason Prokopets, but once again a big save by Dennis. 13 minutes into the second now, and the Bombers will tie it. A turnover at their own blue line gives Travis Sjhl a free pass in on Hogue. Nothing fancy here, one-on-one, and Sjhl comes out on top. Less than 3 minutes later, and the Bombers take the lead. Rob Beck walks in off the right wing and uses Sjhl as a decoy. Flin Flon on top 2-1. The Bombers add to that lead 8.5 minutes into the third. Wally Spence in close, fights off a check, and puts in a 3-foot backhander. 2 minutes later, and Flin Flon with a chance to put it away. A big rebound for Darren Johnson, but a nice save by Hogue. The Millionaires still alive, and they'll tighten it up right here. A good piece of work by Constant, and it's 3-2. But the Bombers come back just 31 seconds later. Sjhl with his second, and it was 4-2. Just a couple of minutes left now, and once again the Mills will make it interesting. Constant with his second, and Melville still with life. But with Hogue on the bench and just 22 seconds left, the Bombers put it on ice. Beck with his 7th goal in the last 7 games, as the Bombers give Manitoba a Saskatchewan Junior Championship. They beat the Millionaires 5-3 and take the title 4-3.
Norm, a long time for you in this league. You finally won your first championship. Was the long wait worth it?
Actually, it's been 10 years. Yeah, it was. Anytime you win a championship, it's always worth it.
You look pretty calm and relaxed right now. What's the feeling like inside?
I'm extremely pleased with the hard work my kids did. Very happy with my executive and very happy with my fans.
Tell me about these kids on this team. Came down here, won Game 7 right in Melville, playing a real good hockey team. How do you feel about the 20 or so young men in that dressing room?
Well, you have to understand, we almost beat them in the 5th game and quite didn't do it. We knew we were close. All we had to do was win one hockey game down here, and we've been preparing all year. Every series, we've been preparing for the 7th game, and tonight we just did it. The kids have got a lot of character, a lot of heart, and I'm very pleased.
This is something no one's ever going to take away from us. This is something, we have a title now. We're champions for life.
You look around the room, and the kids we've had 3 and 4 years that have put their heart and souls into the whole program, and to end it like this is really disappointing for them, and that's really who I'm disappointed for. I mean, I'll get over it, and it's those kids that came so far in the 3 and 4 years they've been involved with this team.